Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Where it's a directory, all the places, everything in detail, like cafe, restaurants, hidden gems kind of. We have created that. So I wanted to know whether can we create an application for that, like for in the Play Store. Is it possible?
Was that so you want to create an app for what you've created?
Yes, right.
Yeah, so there's definitely many solutions, right? So ListingPro in their add-on section, they came out with the Android app, which has been running pretty well from what I've heard. As of now, I think they're working, and Sam will reiterate on this in a sec, but I think they're working on an iOS app. If you were just really impatient, there is a company that posted in both of our groups. They did an app for a different company, and the first app worked. I don't have any user reporting on this one for ListingPro, but I think it's been out for 2 months. And I will tell you, this is just some additional information. I know that should have answered the question, but there's really multiple types of apps. I've got clients who just want that app button in the iOS store. For that, on iOS, it's 3 lines of code. You can put a mobile responsive or app view into an app, but it's not going to give you all the app features like your push to talk notifications. And I think that's what you want. But looking for that solution, again, ListingPro is coming out with one, and there's one on the market that is there. But I mean, to be honest, it's not a ListingPro team. So yeah, there's definitely multiple solutions, or you can just have one built, right? You can have one built custom, and you're going to spend a lot of money trying to integrate what you need. So just depending on your needs, you've got something out there.
So for now, there is no from the ListingPro team, right? There is no app.
There's the Android app. You can start with Android, and then for iOS users, I guess right now you could use mobile app 1 or mobile app 2, and they should be launching something.
Yeah. So let me add to that. We have already kind of developed the iOS app, but I wanted to just get some feedback around Android app and around UX and UI, and make some improvement with our iOS app, and then launch our iOS. So we do have it, but it's in the sort of early beta phase. So I haven't even tested it myself. I didn't get a chance, but we have something going on, but it might, by end of this year, we'll probably launch it. We just wanted to make sure, launch Android first and get some feedback, because mostly the UI and UX will be similar. So we wanted to make sure we get that kind of feedback. Yeah. So.
Nice.
Okay, thank you, Tim. Thanks, Sam. Thanks for the answers. Thank you.
Nabil, keep going. It's you and Dimitri today. So if you have any other questions you've been wondering about, man, today's your day.
The stage is yours, Nabil. You're the and we have Dimitri, right? I think if I'm not. Hi, Dimitri. Thanks. Welcome to the webinar. Thanks.
Hello. One more. Like Yoast SEO, you have come across the Yoast SEO. Whether it works well with the ListingPro team?
Yeah, Yoast works with everything, man. I know that ListingPro has ListingPro schema, which so this is my personal. I used Yoast for years. So when it got down to like the SEO, I used Yoast SEO. I think if you heard me talking with Atira, what I was saying was we're actually opening up, like, you shouldn't be limited, right? So I've been using Yoast for, I want to say, over 10 years, and I was just stuck with that. So the conversation that you actually heard, and yes, I still use Yoast, but that rank math might be better, right? And there's no affiliate links here. I'm not trying to boast one company, but you're stuck, one thing, and like, I didn't want to move from it as a developer. But when I see the pros and cons of rank math so far, I've been testing that one out too on ListingPro sites or any sites. So SEO plugin is definitely important. If you're trying to get the SEO rankings that you need, it allows you to, obviously you can do it without a plugin, but it's just a great reminder of things you're missing. with Yoast, I can automatically set up my titles in the configuration and the way I already want it. So I do less work, so I just set it up globally. And then of course I get some listings or pages, and I do those specifically as well. So I'm a high believer in SEO.
Thank you for clearing my doubts. 1 second.
Yeah, I will tell you. So just to add on to that, what I mean, you can't expect to try to pick your own terms either. Well, maybe you can, and sometimes you can get lucky. Like if you go to Google and you type in kiteboarding directory, my directory pops up, or one of my directories pops up first. That was an easy one, but I'm going to give you an example. So I'm a web designer, and I live in Cocoa Beach, but I tell everybody Orlando because I lived there for a while, and it's only 40 minutes away. Everybody knows Orlando, Florida. So if I want to dominate for the word web design, it's not really possible. Like just web design in general, I'm never going to show up on page one on web. I can create 50 new web pages today. I'm not going to be in that #1 spot for web design. Of course, directories make it easier for you to get that #1 spot. But what about Cocoa Beach web design or Orlando web design? I could easily capitalize on those, but I need to know if those keywords are worth any money. So I use SEO tools. They got SEMrush, Ahrefs, SpyFu. They got a bunch of companies out there. Some of them you can use for free to actually find those keywords that you're not thinking about. Because yes, you could say, hey, I want to do something in Cocoa Beach, but you don't even know if that's a good keyword. So these keyword tools help you find the keywords that you need. They also tell you the competition, like how easy it's going to be to get to rank #1. And then they also tell you how many people are searching for this monthly. So even though web design Cocoa Beach might be a great idea, if only 10 people are searching monthly, I'm not really going to waste my time with it. So learning what's good, with SEO tools helps out a lot. And I don't really pay for those. So I'm not going to pay like SEMrush. They wanted like $199 or something. I'm not going that far. But SpyFu is like just a few bucks, and I'll take it to that level. But I guess, depending on how much money my site's making, maybe I do go off and pay for, who knows? But again, you use those tools. Don't just try to create your own. Use some tools.
Yeah, I just want to add, yeah, SEMrush is great. I just started using it. Yeah, it's fantastic actually. It not just help you suggest keywords, but it will help you remove some of the, what do you call, the toxic backlinks.
Yeah.
Especially because we have like, actually I have to get this removed from our directory. Like, when you install our theme, there's like a link back to our website. So like we get links from all over the website, like all over the world, people building sites, and they have our link. And some of the sites just, they don't have enough page rank, and they're all linked to our site. So it was really helpful to sort of bulk remove the toxic backlinks and stuff. Hey, welcome, Rosemary. Thanks for joining. So good. We see a few people joining now. That's okay, I guess. We will keep going, and as people can join. And yeah, Nabil, do you have any other questions? Just shoot, or Dimitri, Rosemary, you can unmute yourself and go ahead, ask any question. The stage is yours. Tim has, Tim is dedicating his 1.5 hour for you guys. So please try to benefit from his experience, expertise. So yeah, we'll try to do this every week, hopefully. We'll see how this goes, but we'll try to definitely do this every weekend. Let's see.
Welcome, Rosemary. Jane, hello, welcome.
Thank you.
Rosemary, I feel like I know you. Do I know you, right?
Yes, I've spoken to you a few times, and I've put my website on your hosting recently.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I thought I'm just not familiar. The last name kind of pulled me. Okay, perfect.
Yes, yeah.
Awesome. How's that running for you? Everything is good?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah.
Nice. Do you have any Listing Pro questions while we're here? We've got, go ahead.
Yep. I guess my main one is the site ranks pretty poorly for speed on mobile. So that would be my number one, to try and speed it up.
Okay. So I'm definitely going to let Sam take over this question, but I do want to include something. Is it visually slow on mobile, or is it the page algorithms that you're getting from page insight speeds slow?
Yeah, it's the page algorithms.
All right. Sam, do you have anything on this with what Listing Pro can do to help
Is it
out?
on mobile or desktop?
Mobile. Yep.
Okay.
So I think
You
she's
just talk. Okay. Mhm.
sorry. Go ahead. No. I think she's saying that. I mean, I've got her on a decent server right now, and I think the concern with most people that I talk to is most of the page insight. Like if you run the Google algorithm for page insight speeds, I haven't seen a fast score yet. I've seen numbers like 8 out of 100. We're seeing scores like that. Now, I will tell you, when my kiteboarding directory was Listing Pro focused, I had a fast mobile working website, but the algorithms that page insight speeds is showing, not very, it didn't look good. What can we expect? What can we do if you've heard anything?
So a couple of things on mobile. I would say, do you have like a custom page design for the home page for your directory, or is it just using a default, your desktop version? It's just converting, because you have an option to actually create a mobile optimized page and just add that in the theme option, just change that basically. So this way there's not a lot of content loading on the home page. Usually when you're doing whether you're loading on mobile or you are running through these Google page speed tools, they will look at your homepage, and that's what you base your results on.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's the same as the desktop version. So
Yeah, so I advise you to just create a new page, use the same page builder elements to just reduce, because right now you might have, I don't know, 10 page builder elements that are loading on the home page. You just really, for mobile, you just need like maybe like 2 or 3.
okay.
Yeah, that will definitely help you out with actual loading time on a mobile, as well as hopefully with the Google page speed or wherever you are testing it on Pingdom or whatnot. Yeah, the more content, the slower it gets, right? It's just, yeah.
Okay.
So Tim can actually, I think it's probably under listing. Yeah, right
So
there.
in theme options under listing, we do have that. And again, I loaded this 10 minutes prior to the video. So I don't have any settings set up in here. But the
Tim,
home
I did send you the demo access, by the way, just in case.
I got it. I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
Sure.
So the homepage for app view is here. And of course, you can first create that homepage. So like my default homepage is here. But if you wanted to create a secondary homepage with minimal, no moving activities, just to get a better score for your homepage and the viewing, it's possible. I think we're still going to run into the issues of having the CSS and JavaScript files, but I see a bunch of designs that have, and they want to do like 20 categories. They want to do like 20 listings on the homepage, and they'll show 6 blog posts. And even though it loads fast, I mean, it's probably not best for mobile, because you know what happens on mobile. We got to scroll down. Okay, we did categories. So maybe entertaining this option, creating a basic homepage for mobile, and keeping that in mind. You can go here, set the homepage, create the homepage first, and then set it up in here. And that might help out with your initial scan, because I know page insights, I mean, most of the time we're scanning our homepage, and just kind of getting a brief off that. So maybe that'll help. And again, because you're on my server, reach out. I'll help you do this. No charge, of course. Maybe we'll even create a video on why it's the best, just to set up a different app view.
Great.
So one more suggestion is you want to try different app view options, the mobile, the app view 1 and app view 2, and responsive. Like obviously app view 2 is the latest one, but you want to just test out which one is kind of giving you better results. So yeah, that would be something to look into.
I like that. Some I noticed that some styles and listing setups aren't really the best when I'm in different modes, like responsive. If I've got small listing grids, if I do responsive, it doesn't show up the best. You know, and of course I have CSS knowledge, so I can go in there and change it. But you know, just depending on my styles that I've chosen in my theme options or my different options, some of these work a little bit better than others, depending on what I've created. So that's exactly right what Sam said. You know, test what works best for yours. Look at it. You can also, we can look at your caching options and just see what we have there. I know that WP Rocket was great when I found it, but it was one I literally had to test almost everything. Like I tested one thing and I'd run a speed test, and then I was doing like a B, and I was like, okay, this is great on GT metrics. And I wake up the next morning, and because caching hadn't set in, I just hit the retest button and I'd get a D. So I know that I had to take that last setting off. So taking documented notes and enabling like one thing at a time and just checking on your caching could help as well.
Okay, great. Thank you.
But we're here for you, and you know how to reach both of us. So yeah, let's take a look and get it better.
Okay.
Again, I had one of the fastest listing pro sites that, I mean, I was on a dedicated server. I was paying a lot of money for hosting. And I had done a lot of the caching myself, but you're right. Like my and I didn't do a mobile page either. So I'm kind of apt to that, but yeah, there's just so much we can do. And I found Nitro Pack. I can't support that. I know this isn't like, we're not shaming anything, but Nitro Pack, I feel like Nitro Pack just skews the algorithm. As I can load Nitro Pack into a site right now, and all of a sudden it's like 98%. But two of the things don't even load. And I'm like, I mean, that's not really fair. I did like it, but I can't get an accurate read on that. Maybe I'm not setting it up correctly. Stop share. Anybody else?
I'm going to share this link in chat. There are a few tools, suggested tool. Tim, you can maybe give your feedback, but I do mention in this what plugins are recommended for optimization. It's Fast Press, WP Rocket, Short Pixel, Perf Matters. I don't know if any of these tools. I mean, you know, you mentioned about WP Rocket, but because some of these tools were used by topgoogle.com. I mean, I think he also invests a lot of time optimizing the website, so he recommended this tool. So I don't know if you have the same opinion about these tools.
It's so the ListingPro minifier, yes. WP Rocket I use. Short Pixel definitely works for images. I've used it in the past. I'm actually using Imagify now, but it is, you can pay up to like $9.99 for unlimited. But what it allows me to do, and I'm a web developer, so I don't mind adding my own images and compressing them on my own. But for people adding listings, let's just crop my image, you know, and optimize it when they were adding it. The only downfall to any of these tools is if you don't set it up properly, you run into an issue and it becomes a bigger burden than not. I was moving one site to a different host and they use Jetpack. And Jetpack, I mean, it's been a great plugin for years. It's just common. They were, instead of one image, every time you uploaded one image, you couldn't see it in your media library, but you actually had 31 copies of that image because they didn't set it up to say, hey, no, I only want these images. Well, you got to think about that. Like when I'm doing Imagify or something like that, I compress my own images, but the user is submitting listing images only. Where are those images used? Well, it's used on my homepage, 372 by 240, used on my listing grid page. So I pick those and it drastically changes. You know, again, looking at something like Jetpack, where she didn't have a dedicated server, she kept having to upgrade and couldn't understand why. And again, it was 31 images for every image you uploaded. So with any of these tools, again, you've got to test. Yes, they work, but you've got to test and optimize and configure the settings, you know, and that's critical. Who else?
Okay.
This has been fun.
I guess, yeah, Rosemary, anything else you have on your mind? I mean, you can, I don't know if you want us to pull up your website, we can, like, and give you any feedback, like, just overall, we can do that. I mean, while we have time.
Yeah. If you've got time, that would be great. I'd appreciate some feedback.
Okay, I don't, what, can you drop your link here in the
Chat.
comment, in the chat? Yeah. What do you think, Tim? Do you think we can do
Yeah,
that?
we can take a look. I didn't design this, right? No.
Oh, okay.
This is just, I think I'm hosting. It's the country airstrips. Is that what?
That's it. Yeah.
Give me just a sec. I don't, for some reason, when I clear cache, it doesn't want to show me that.
Yeah, and by the way, you're not sharing your screen, so whenever if you're gonna
Yeah.
pull it up, yeah.
Give me 2 seconds just
Sure.
to make sure. All right, so again, I'm definitely hosting this for. I think she's. Have we talked about a few? I don't think I've made many changes to this, right? I don't, or any.
No.
Okay.
No.
So that's my disclaimer. I love the site. Don't get me wrong. But I didn't design this. So her site's pulling up now. And any feedback from anybody, if it's any feedback is welcome. I personally don't know if I've given her any feedback, maybe like day one, which would have been months and months ago. But again, this is what she's trying to do.
This is good. This is good. I would start from the top, and I would say the logo. It would be good to have actually a white navigation bar and the
Yes.
logo on the top. Like, you can use the same logo, or you can use a transparent logo and leave it as is. Just use a transparent logo. The logo with like tight edges. Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't look. I mean, the logo is great, but just that white background is not giving the full, like, the true
Yeah.
value of your logo. Yeah, it's not showing the
Yes.
true value. Yeah, so that would
Yes.
be a
That's
good idea.
Yeah, that's one thing that I have had in mind to do that.
Yeah, by the way, you can even do like a sticky menu. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Sam. Sorry about that.
No, that's for starters. Yeah, I think that's a good. And then I see, I don't know, maybe your hold on, your screen resolution, it's pushing some of the text in 2 lines, because I guess you have a lot of stuff going on in your menu. Maybe you can do like a drop down for some of the stuff. I don't know. Like right now, if you see the sign in add listing is basically in 1 row. I don't know if it was intentional.
Can you bring it up on the screen? I've got on mine a leader in the 2020.
Oh, it's fine on your
Mag-
screen, maybe because he's sharing his screen on Zoom. Sometime it resizes the screen. So I don't know.
Okay.
If you look at the share screen, so what Sam's saying is, so first off, I changed your background to white. I didn't do it live. I just did it looking at your website with CSS. And I'm saying the first thing is, this looks much better on white. If you're not able to rip this image out, like what you want to do is you want to use a PNG, which is a transparent logo, meaning it won't have the white background. It'll just have the text and the icon. That would look much better on your homepage, which I'm going to refresh this page. I just wanted you to see if it was all white, it looks good, right? If you didn't want to strip your logo and do a PNG, let me refresh the page. Give me 2 seconds. So I'm on a 34-inch screen, and this is half of my screen. Of course, if I go full screen, I can get all that on 1 line, but if you're on a laptop or anything smaller than half of my 37, which is a huge curved screen monitor, or 34, then this is what we're seeing. So because you have so much in your menu, it scripts it to the second line of your menu item. So you've got this stuff on top, and it scripts it down here, which is not normal, right? You want it all on 1 line. Now there are. Go ahead.
I'm actually on a 16-inch laptop, and it's all on 1 line. So I haven't noticed that that's.
Are you logged in? Are you looking at it like if I'm 16 inches is like this size, And Sam and Natira are here. They can confirm on a smaller. Well, no,
Yeah. Well,
we see it like this. If this is small, like this is about 16 inches in line.
yeah.
So again, let's take a look at yours at some point. Screenshot, do whatever you want. Let's take a look because this is common. This is common, and mainly because, and again, so I mean my iMac. If I move it over there, oh, it won't screen share over there. Is 27, and that's standard, you know, for what I have. Same thing. I see this with a lot of ListingPro websites, where only because they have the ad listing here and sign in here, you've got to make way for that. So there's two solutions. Like Sam said, you can do a drop down. You know, you can do like a more and add like what this one's pretty long. Frequently asked questions. I move that to more. Contact us to more. You can do that. There is a way in coding how to make this section just a little bit bigger, but honestly, in this, I don't suggest that.
It's not happening on homepage, Tim. It's only happening on inner pages, I believe. That's what's because if you go to homepage, it's fine. I think I'm just trying to figure out what's different.
What the problem is it allows for a search box. So again, you have no search here. I'm going to go into About Us. But if you go and look at just the coding on this, because you have this search box filter, and I wouldn't get rid of it, but what they've said is, I'm just gonna, I hope you can see this, the logo. So Bootstrap works in a 12 column setup, right? So here I have 2 columns, column MD2. And then I have, over on the right, I have column MD7. So that's what, 9. So 10, 11, 12, you have 3 for the middle. And so, you know, it's not allowing you the full capability because, and you can actually see it here. So the mobile, watch this, the mobile takes up this much room. Yes, you could shorten that down. You're definitely gonna need a little bit of coding for that, but you can see the blue around the Airstrips logo, that takes up your logo amount. The header takes up that much, or the search takes up that much amount. And again, hopefully you guys can see, can you guys see that light blue fade around the search box?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. And then if we get over to the menu, you'll see that the menu allows this side. So it just doesn't allow enough. And again, I'll be honest with you, like this is just my personal opinion and somebody else can chime in here, but I would put this stuff here, I'd put this in the footer. Like the last thing I want people to do is just I want people to contact me, but if I can't find to contact me here, I know it's in the footer. It's always in the footer, right? Same thing with frequently asked questions. Yeah, you want them to have frequently asked questions, but do you need it in your main menu, right? So think about the multiple ways to set that up.
Right.
So let's go back.
The other thing is, I just want to add, there are a few different styles actually. There's a navigation bar style where there is like a sub bar on the top, which is I mean, when you get a chance, you can check under the theme option header, and there are like so many different options, and one will I think there's one that will suit you better, which allows you to have two menus or 2 navigation options in the top bar, if that's.
Oops. Yeah.
So the
here you go.
Yeah, the one, I think the one that you have selected right now. Yeah, that one, I guess. Yeah.
You've got this option. You've got this option. If you still wanted to add in the header, it could be viable, you know. And that's, you know, when I'm first starting a site, I don't have enough content, but I think with where you're at, you're continuously adding content. This could be a valuable solution as well. You know, adding a secondary top menu that just has, you know, you can put what you want in here, but just fill up that top menu as well. So multiple solutions there.
Okay. Yep.
A little bit more. Let's take a look. So image sizing. So first off, you've got 2 or 3 colors. This is the development standpoint. This is going to be 100% accurate because yes, you can get away with 3rd and 4th party colors. I stick with these colors. You know, your blue, black, your white, your little bit of gray in here, and then make sure I'm duplicating those and all the text around the site. I'm not really a big fan of quicksand, but that's personal preference. But the images here, you could either crop those online, or I think, you know, if you're using Elementor, you can go in there and say, hey, I want this image to be 300 by 300 and then contain the image. So that way all these images are the same. Same thing, text length. When you're looking at all around your site, you did a really good job with text length here, where 1 line, 2 line, 1 line, 2 line. When I start getting down here, this actually looks good. You say you got away with it with 1 word, maybe even remove 1 word from this if possible, and
Yep.
and get it all on 1 line too. But the good thing is, even though this is the longer one, you put it in the middle. So that was really smart thinking. It's not, I've seen people that will do 2 paragraphs over here, and it just looks, it looks ridiculous. Like it just like, why did you 1 paragraph, 2? So
Yeah.
looks pretty good overall. I like the custom feature here. This is super awesome. A little bit bigger text. Again, I don't have bad eyes at all. I can read this. You know, not everybody has my 20/20 vision. This text right here, super small, super small. And again, you can just see my screen compared to what you're doing. And again, developer standpoint. Now this text is small, but it's supposed to be, right. This is their affiliate stuff, but your affiliate
Yes.
stuff is almost as small as this one, like almost, not quite. Put in an icon, you know, even if it's your logo, just so you can get rid of this blank
Yeah.
avatar. I think you can go to gravatar.com and sign up there with your email. It's free, and put in a fun little logo. Make it easy.
Yeah, I believe the users can, yeah, I actually you might not even need Gravatar, because Listing Pro allows you to update profiles. If you just go to my profile, if you click right there, update my profile.
Sorry about that. I clicked
Yeah.
too fast.
My profile, and that you can just update your image over there. You don't need the Gravatar. So that's
Okay.
why. The other overall feedback I will give of you, Rosemary, is leave some space after each section. It's called like a breathing room.
Okay.
It will make everything more legible, and it will be easy on the reader's eyes, like, you know, from transitioning from one area to the next.
Mhm.
It's just like a design UX rule that you want to follow. Add breathing room wherever possible, especially around text and images.
Okay. So how much room should I leave?
Oh, it could be like, I don't know, just pick a like 100 pixels. I don't know, 100 pixel is a lot, but yeah, 50 to 100 pixel. And
Okay.
okay, right now, let's say the space that you have between these 3 images and those 2 images with the airplane icon, that
Mhm.
is between the section, you can double that. Yeah,
Double it.
between these,
Okay.
exactly. And just maintain that across. Like, you don't want like one section to be like 200 pixel, the other. Just try to keep some sort of yeah, there's, I
Consistent.
mean, you know,
Yeah.
you will see people will have I don't know, like 5 I don't know, 200-300 I don't know, 200 like pixels sometimes, space between one section to the other, like, you know, just to give enough breathing room. But depends, like, you know, what style, what kind of design you want to create.
So
Yeah.
just to give you a little bit of my input as well, Sam is exactly right. Like this section, and this section are perfect examples of where, you know, if you could easily add a spacer, and then
Yep.
keep it consistent. You know, so if you use 40 and it looks good to you, then, or 50 and it looks good to you, and keep it consistent, and just make sure that, you know, between each element that needs a space, you do that. Now, some people, there's multiple types of people who like design, and I don't like a lot of white space, right? I think we need more than this, you know, so I would put like a 40, 50 pixel spacer, 40, 50 pixel spacer, 40, 50 in between all these. And then I always put one at the bottom of the page. You can just see how this just lines up right. So I would do the same thing here. And then some people like even more white space, like Sam is saying. I see guys that will space out, and they're popular sites that like just a little bit more, 150, 200, 175, something like that. But again, it's going to depend on your style. Some people like white space, some people don't. I think you definitely need a little bit more white space.
Yep.
But depending on your style, if you like a lot or a little bit, it helps the eyes kind of adjust to, like, right now, all this looks the same, right? If you were to blur your vision, or and you're just looking at this, all this looks like it would be one piece.
Okay. Yep.
But you did a really good job at separating them with colors. Look at this. I put a spacer on the top of that. but you separated it with gray. You did a full width call out, even though the picture's a little bit blurry on my end at least. But you did a really good job of separating it with colors, which helps as well. Sorry, Sam, go ahead.
No, I think yeah, that's a good start. Yeah, I mean, of course, I mean there's whole science around typography and colors. Obviously, I mean, you know, we can go on forever, but basically, generally, like, you know, when it comes to text, when it's really closed tight, it creates tension. When you're trying to, like, you know, there could be some message that you're communicating, and you can use headlines with like a tighter, the exact word is, I believe, kerning, you know, tighter, closer letters that will create tension, whereas you know, spaced out letters are sort of you know, how do you say it? They're trying to just be some relaxed message, not super tensed message that you're trying to narrate.
Okay.
Nice.
So same applies with the space between each paragraph as well, you know. So similar, like, you know, whatever it is, you just want to follow that pattern consistently across. And I see like you have like some disclaimer text right there under the, so you want to, instead of just like, you know, I just noticed that you can put it inside, if you really want people to read that, put it inside like a colored box, like an info box, or we call it like alert box or whatever. You can just have,
Okay.
Love it. Great ideas, man. That's going to give you a good start on a lot of these pages I've seen.
Yes.
Just to kind of modify. It doesn't take much time. It's just fun going through and pinning everything.
By the way, we have a few different, I guess this is our default style, or I don't know, maybe not. So there are a few different styles. Yeah, I think you probably have already seen, but we do have a few pricing plan styles. So if you haven't already seen.
Okay, no, I haven't. I've just seen that one.
Yeah, it's just a page builder element. When you go on that page, whatever page builder you're using, WP Bakery or Elementor, it will let you
create,
like out of 5, 6 styles.
Look, I'm so sorry. Sorry, could you guys hear that? I'm so sorry. Sorry.
That's okay.
Technical issue. But yeah, so yeah, just keep growing. You know, you've got, and the good thing about it is, I know I probably already told you that you got a great niche. I hate to say that. How many people are here? I see some people that don't have a great idea, but this is a great idea. You know, and if you could just capitalize, you know, you're going to professionalize the look a little bit more and make it comfortable. This is something that, and I think you already know it, this is something that can expand past Australia. In the kiteboarding industry, every pilot wants to kiteboard. So I talked to them all, and you know, Carson's like telling me about all these landing scripts that most people wouldn't know about. And I just think that, you know, I think it's a cool idea. I think we just got a little bit of work and some customization to do. And I think, there's no reason why people shouldn't be signing up.
No, well, there's nothing else like it.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So if you're the one in the market and you can capitalize, again, we talked a little bit about SEO, you got to let people know it's the only one in the market. But once you do, I think, you know, it's going to be keen. I think it's going to be keen.
Yeah, it would be a good idea to add like a video, some sort of like an intro message for your audience. I don't know if you already have one for like a personal, it doesn't have to be like a fancy, it could be just one that you can record off your phone.
Yep.
And that the list your business button on the bottom right above the footer is not working, by the way. I think just tested.
Oh, isn't it?
Refreshes the page. The link is, you can see the link in the top here. It's just a pound sign. So at some point,
okay.
But again, go through your site and check all your links again, right? That's something basic that somebody forgot. And
especially the homepage,
Yes, yes, that's important. yeah, I've been playing around with that one, so I probably haven't just linked it yet.
No worries. Anybody else want to share a site? Dimitri, we lost Nabil. Dimitri, what are you working on? You want to? By the way, you're muted, buddy. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Hi guys, I'm just in one side, so it's not half ready, and just looking for ideas and how to do the stuff. So no question yet, but yeah.
Are you from
I
Germany?
mean,
probably maybe next time. Yeah.
I mean, if you already have a website, we can give you feedback like we just did for Rosemary.
Maybe next time. No, it's yeah, I just made some according to video. Just made
Wait.
some
This is the best
homepage
question. What video did you watch?
you had one earlier on YouTube, then you moved it to the group, and it was not available later on YouTube, but only through the group. So
nice. That's what I wanted to hear.
So this one, yeah. So
so the 2-hour video is gold, man. I'll tell you that. That 2-hour video,
yes, it's very good, really. Yep. I like it very much. So
yeah.
I did this stuff, and yeah, I'm just moving on and making categories in my niche and so on. So just thinking of stuff, how to catch it and to go further. So
Dimitri, where are you from?
I'm in the Czech Republic.
Oh, okay. It sounded like a German accent. I was like, oh, okay. My last name.
Yeah, I'm making my website in German, but German is not my native language. My native is Russian, but yeah, I speak several languages. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, when building sites, taking all this knowledge from any other site that we've shown, make sure you have the proper spacing, PNG logos, things like that are definitely beneficial to even somebody creating a new site. So make sure, and like Sam said, there's a bunch of guides on there. I mean, as a new website creator, I probably wouldn't have thought about, but like you can figure out what fonts are the best, what are easy readable. I'll give you an example. I got a site that she wanted me to rebuild it, and she had this. It was a cursive font, and I'm in my late 30s, so I understand cursive, but there are a lot of people like that just. It was really hard to read, is all I'm trying to say. And I mentioned that. I said, when you go to google.com, do you see any cursive there? You won't see any cursive. And I'm not saying you can't use it for titles and call outs, but Google did a great job of everything is readable. Everything is, well, for me, everything is left to right. Everything is properly spaced. And if you look at your popular websites, you'll find coherent styling that they're not using yellow on yellow. And that's this site. She had script that I couldn't read. She had yellow on top of yellow. It was just awful. Sam just posted something to the group, and it's the inspirational websites built with ListingPro, and there you can get a bunch of ideas as well.
Yep.
I thought that was my background. Like, wait a minute.
It's time to run.
Yeah. So yeah, what I say, I'm building it. So I have a couple of websites in just normal made on WordPress, and I like make some sales SEO stuff and so on, but sorry, SEO, and yeah. So now I'm working with this ListingPro theme, and here then go deeper to make some CSS changes and so on. Some new stuff for me, but yeah, I'm catching from your videos how to do it, and with Elementor some stuff and so on. So yeah, it's very educative and a lot of information. Thank you very much.
Were you a developer before this? Like, did you know
Um,
CSS before this or no?
Before I had a couple of sites with Incomedia.
Okay.
Build that. And after that, I remade them on WordPress. So I have now
Every year.
couple of sites.
Nice. Sorry about the sound. I should have muted the tab. This video, I think it's ListingPro 2.5 on my channel. Frequently asked questions is just questions people were asking that day, or asking over time. And then basic styling with CSS. So this could be good for anybody in the future. I know we're recording this as well, but I think this starts at 35 or 32 minutes. So 32 minutes into this video, I don't teach somebody how to be a developer. I just show all the styling that I use for ListingPro, which I'll be honest, a lot of them were like 3 or 4 different items. It was how to change colors that wasn't in the theme options. It was how to display none or not show an item. And I think there was like 1 or 2 more options, but I actually show you exactly how you can find that field. Which you probably already know. You say you've been working with CSS, but anybody in the future, it was a great video for me. Again, I'm not teaching them CSS. I'm showing them the items and showing them what CSS they can use with ListingPro. So I think that somebody that watches the last half of this video, even if they had no development skills, they should be able to change colors on anything on their website. They should be able to hide anything on their website. It was just a really good video for me because again, I know there's CSS videos out there, but they weren't pertaining to the items in ListingPro. They say, hey, this is how you do CSS from scratch. So if you haven't seen it and you're not comfortable, or even if you are comfortable, touch up again. I think it starts at 32 or 35 minutes. You can check that out, and it just has some awesome tips for ListingPro styling, right? Things that we wanted to change. So good luck with that, man. Keep us in the loop too. I know you're in both groups. Keep us in the loop.
Okay, thank you for your tip.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey,
Matter of fact, go ahead.
Very sorry. I was just gonna say, Dimitri, if you're not already aware that we all have a German translation available. I don't know if you're using that or you're creating your own translation, but just a heads up.
Yes, it's I took from GitHub some
Okay.
translation, and yeah, I'm making some changes. And,
What do you think about the
adjusting it.
quality of the translation? Because I don't really understand, so I can't really vouch for it. But
generally it's quite good, but some stuff needs to be adjusted. Some words which seems to be translated that are not translated, but so for example, there is a phrase, but 3 words are translated and 1 not. So it happens also.
Okay.
But yeah, otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, if you can help us out, once you are ready, if you can contribute towards the translation, we'll really appreciate, because I don't exactly remember who contributed that. Some of might be like generated using one of the tools out there. I forgot, PoEditor or something that we. So it might not be human translated like everything in that translation. So if you do end up optimizing or improving the translation, please do share with us so everybody can benefit from it.
We can have a look at it. I'm not a native speaker, but yeah, so also picking some stuff from other websites, how it's better translated. But yeah, it's possible.
I had a funny story. So all my, a lot of my clients will ask, hey, can you translate this into Spanish? Or can you translate this into German? Or my latest client, can you translate this into Norwegian? And I had to stop taking these clients. I didn't realize how hard it was. Yes, you can get on Google Translate words after you create it in English, but those words are not the same. Like, the phrase that I might use. So this guy spent, I want to say 3 weeks translating everything into Norwegian. And I was like, hey, we should submit it. And he's like, dude, I spent 3 weeks on this. We're not going to submit anything. I was like, yeah, but maybe we sell it for $140. And he's like, we're not going to do that. So I know how the translations can just be rough.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if we could have paid for the translation. I think, yeah, or given him some, I don't know, usually license a free license to one of our add-ons or whatever it takes.
He spent a lot of time on this PO file, and he's just like, nah, I'm not doing it. It's like, you spent a lot of time, so I save somebody else, but he didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
No
from
worries.
time to from time to time I use a DeepL translator. It's yeah, quite good and much better than Google Translator, and yeah, and not 100% okay is perfect, but very good translation. So even if it's somehow automated, so it brings very good quality of translated text.
Can you post a link to that in the chat? I didn't catch it. Can you post a link?
DeepL, DEEPL.com.
Oh, DeepL. Okay.
DeepL. Yeah.
By the way, Tim, just an inside news, we are working with WPML. I mean, we kind of started working a while back ago, but it was kind of on and off. But I don't know when, but last I heard from Imran that we were working with WPML to get the theme compatible, because I know that's one of the top requests from a lot of users. I don't know if you.
Yeah,
Was that?
I use, you know, so I have the kiteboarding directory is worldwide. And of course, I only offer it in English. And I, you know, I wish that, you know, there was something, but again, translation is just so funny. It like never, it's never 100%. Like,
Right.
you know.
And there are different dialect. I'm pretty sure German has so many different dialects, or like, you know, it's not like you say when you say German, it's like one German. I don't know. Dimitri, is that correct?
Yes, there are some differences in different regions in Germany, and in Austria speak a little different, and Switzerland also. But there is, let's say, standard German, which everybody understands, and these differences mostly are local. So when only people in this certain location are using these words and so on, but yeah. Generally,
Yeah.
standard German is understandable for everybody. So
Yeah, I mean, it's like US, Australia, England, you know, we all have like our own sort of, yeah. So I guess it's just you and Rosemary. So guys, if you have any more questions, feel free. Rosemary, especially you have any, you're unmuted as well, so you can go ahead, ask any more questions, or it's all your mic is yours.
Oh, thank you. None that I can think of just now. I'm sure I'll think of a dozen after we're off this call.
It could be about marketing, growth. I don't know, anything. Doesn't have to be just like any improvement on. Yeah, I mean, it could be anything. I mean,
marketing's a big one for me, because it's something I've got no experience in, and I really need to do more of it, you know, to get the site out there. So any tips you have on marketing, I'd appreciate.
Okay, Tim, you have anything, or
I have a bunch of things, but if you want to go first, go ahead.
I would say just you want to obviously pick your keywords and stuff, and then it would be good to start writing content around that. That would be good. So what I do recommend is when especially for me, when I talk about marketing, I talk about building a growth engine. So instead of you know, Facebook ads or Google ads, I mean, you know, because those are very expensive, and you know, those kind of ads, basically when you are running a campaign, then you pretty much can expect traffic. Once you stop it, it's like, yeah, it's like turning on a tap
Yes.
and turning it off, pretty much, right? So where the growth engine process is slower, but long lasting one, organic process, right? So so I talk about, I recommend doing blog content around around your industry, videos if possible. And you don't honestly, nowadays you don't really sit and have to write everything. There are AI tools. I started using this new tool, Jarvis.ai. Tim, I don't know if you heard of, if I told you about the Jarvis.ai. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm actually using Jarvis at the moment.
Really interesting.
I love it.
What do you
I
think
think,
about? Okay, perfect.
I think it's got great potential. I think articles that are really technical and very specific, it doesn't do so well on.
Right.
But for just general type articles, it's pretty good.
Right.
I also use Surfer SEO. Do you use that at all? That's for it's AI also.
Surfer, how do you spell that?
SUR.
Okay, Surfer.
SURFER.
Oh, okay, Surfer SEO. That's
Yeah.
also like for writing content.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's
Oh,
it
interesting.
was originally designed just for SEO, but it's got some really great tools for keyword research, for structuring articles, for all those sorts of things. So I use them in conjunction with Jarvis AI. And I find the two of them work really well together.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you so much for letting me know. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. And for videos, I would say if you don't want to just, you don't have enough time to record yourself, you can use Canva. The tools like Canva has like video templates, and you can create video templates. I mean, so much out there today to automate a lot of these processes.
Yes.
And Tim, go ahead. I mean,
Yeah.
You have more experience around, stuff.
Marketing in general in 2021 or 2022, right? So there are so many ways you can market your site now. Back in the day, an easy one is if you have the money, you do the paid advertisements, right? You put yourself in anybody who's a pilot and anybody interested in airstrips, and you push it out. Nowadays, I can't I don't have, I feed 6 people a year, so I got 4 kids. I can't pay that ad spend, nor do I need to. There's so many different ways. So big one for me, and as well as you, because it fits your niche. And you might not be a Facebook person. You don't have to have the perfect Facebook page and post every day. But I get a lot of my clients from niche related people in the industry. So I'll join all the kiteboarding groups, right? Which I know all about. And I don't post my own personal stuff. But when people say, hey, I'm taking a trip to Mexico, where can I, in your case, where can I fly in at? Or where the airstrip? But in your niche, so my niche, they're like, hey, where can I vacation in Mexico that there's going to be good wind? I'm not spammy about it. I don't sit there and promote my site, but I'll show them the archive page that I've already pre-selected for right there. And I get so many businesses that sign up that way. How did you find me? You found me through YouTube, right? So YouTube started my video. It was just a free video, and I don't show my face. I'm not the handsomest guy. I'm good looking, but well, that's what my wife says. But let's be honest, I choose not to show my face because I feel like it's non-biased, right? Somebody can join. It doesn't matter who I am. It doesn't matter how old I am, what color I am, anything like that. We're just talking about a topic. And if you have expansive knowledge in that topic, that's how you found me. I only have 1,600 subscribers. The business that I've received from those 1,600 is priceless. I mean, priceless. For 2 years, this is all I've been doing. So Facebook, if you can, I posted a Facebook page. I know all my friends weren't kiteboarding related, but a lot of them were. I shared it to them before I even launched. Matter of fact, I launched my Facebook weeks before I even launched my website and told them, hey, this is coming soon. When I post a new business, if I add it manually, I hit them up on Facebook and I'm like, hey, I noticed that you guys, you got a listing here. check it out, claim it for free and change your details because it doesn't have any business hours, or what they offer. So that was an easy one. Forums, same way. Forums will ban you, and I learned this a long time ago. Forums will ban you if you're just like, hey, check out Country Airstrip, check this out, check this out, check this out, and you're only posting about yourself. But an easy way to think about this is what happens if, those forums, they allow you to do like a signature or a little bio below. Put your information in there, and you don't no longer have to advertise what, your website link. You're just saying, hey, I think that's a good idea. I actually know a lot about this. You can put whatever you want in the comment section, just like YouTube. I can go to somebody else's YouTube channel. I'll be like, hey, this is a great video. I've been working with ListingPro for about 3 years. And because it's the Overnight Coder channel, people click on that and find my content. And that's the same thing. It's not spamming, but it's yes, I'm passing my website link at some point. So marketing and advertising in that method is super easy. SEO, that is a big one for me. So I don't have the time to go to all the forums that I'm talking about. I do still do the Facebook thing a lot, but SEO is long term. So you get your keywords as you're already doing with Jarvis and Surfer. Get some keywords and blog about them. I want to say there's probably about 47, 48 terms that my site ranks for right now that were super easy to get with one post, so just increasing that when I have the time, and I try to spend 30 minutes to an hour a day on my own site. It's just been increasing. And again, don't limit yourself to something that you're just comfortable with. Get outside the box. You can look up on Google, how can I market my site for free? And maybe do 2021 or 2022 and just find, I'm always doing that, just for each year. I want to know, it'll mention forums, Facebook, advertising, all these different options, and just increase your knowledge of just growth, right? Don't just stick with what you know. Google some things. If they work, they work. If they don't work, focus more times on what works for you.
Yeah, well, I have got a Facebook group set up. It's not particularly active, but it's something I need to probably put a bit more energy into. But forums are a good idea.
Go ahead. So how can you increase? That's another Google search. How can I increase, my group numbers on Facebook? And I'll tell you that some of the ideas that you're going to see is, so Instagram, I used to work with millions of followers, millions of people. The only clients I used to have about 7, 8 years ago was people who had millions of followers on Instagram. And now with all the things that I learned from these people, and that's a lot of followers, how can I grow my own Instagram? Now, I don't have time to grow millions of followers and do all these things I said, but I use some of those with Instagram. I'm using hashtags. I'm using hashtags that I can rank for. So just giving you an idea, web design, the hashtag, I'm not going to rank for that. But there are some hashtags where I can show up in the best, for a week. And Facebook kind of does that too. It's not just hashtags, but it's search terms. It's not just search terms. You can add companies. So exactly where I said, hey, I would message a company. You can add a company, no problem. Be like, hey, this company is on our, check them out. This is a premium listing. It looks great. That company either can look at it in their notifications or they cannot. But again, Google, how can I grow that Facebook page? You're on ListingPro theme. I started off with 10 users, right? I didn't invite my own personal family because they weren't niched. I didn't invite everybody. And I just had to, I had to create the content, even though I wasn't seeing a value with 10 or even 100, 100 I was starting to see. But 10 to 50 users, I wasn't getting much from it, right? I had to post all the content. I had to post ideas. I had to always come out with something creative. Now we're running on 1,100 members and people are active themselves, meaning I no longer have to do that work. And Sam and Natira can vouch for this. You very rarely see where they have to create their own posts because they've created a network of over 3,000 members that will create it for them. But it wasn't easy. They started off with 10 members, 50 members, 100. So just keep posting, keep posting.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I think that is the secret to it. I have thought about Instagram.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have thought about Instagram. I guess my thinking was, don't know that there's a lot of pilots who would be on Instagram. I mean, I don't use it personally, but it seems to be a very female type of platform, but it's worth giving it a go.
Well, you're right. Some niches are better, and Facebook has been great to me. When I did kiteboarding stuff, because it was photo related, I can do anything. I can show you a beautiful spot in Maui and just post that picture that I obviously didn't take and post some hashtags. And then once I had that following, yeah, my bio had my new website. So for 3 years prior to even launching my site, I had some Instagram accounts and I was just posting these wonderful photos. But you're right, it was a photo worthy niche, like weddings that does really well on Instagram, right? But
Yes,
you're right,
yeah.
some niches might not do well on Instagram, but you won't know until you try it. What if you did a
No.
country airstrips and you showed beautiful photos of overview? You know, it could be like that black hole in whatever part of the country that you can see blue water. You could do something like that. It is visual, right? And again, it's
Yes,
not
yeah.
personal, it's more visual, it just takes over Instagram. Like TikTok, you know, I'm a little too old for TikTok. TikTok's killing it right now, but unfortunately, my niche is not in TikTok, so I don't want to focus my time there.
No. Have you used Pinterest at all?
Me personally, no. I
Mm,
know a lot of people that have, but me personally, it just wasn't one of mine. But if it
No.
works
Yeah.
for your niche, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have used a long time ago already, but I haven't been using it lately. I recommend just pick one tool, wherever you feel, do your research and find where your community is hanging out, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, and just stick to that until, like, you see some results. If you're gonna do too many things at on too many platforms, nothing's gonna work. I mean, you won't have that kind of resources and time to really build that momentum. You need to focus and build that momentum. Once you're able to do that, then you can turn your focus to something else, some other platforms. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
funny
that's
thing
good
is,
advice.
stewardesses use Instagram all the time, right? That's all I see from stewardesses, but unfortunately, it's not the same airstrip quality that you want. All I see is their Instagram photos. Like, that's so funny. I love it. But I have a lot of clients on Facebook, you know.
Yeah.
Carson, they've got 100 jet elites and all that, and they're doing pretty well. And his Facebook post, he posted, "Hey, we just got this new jet at $3 million." They didn't say that outright, but all the following he just got from that post was crazy. You know, so they're definitely out there. You just have to find what they're using and ask if you're in that community. You know, ask, hey, what social media platform do you use the most? Right? Don't be afraid to ask. I'm working on a project. What do you guys use?
Yes, yeah, well, my son's a commercial pilot, so he is on a lot of the pilot forums, but they're closed forums. But he often answers questions and things and mentors country airstrips, so that's a great way to get it out there as well.
Oh, definitely. Welcome, Chris. You have any questions? We're just all speaking here.
Yeah, I think we have about, I don't know, like 15-20 minutes, I guess, before we start wrapping up, I guess. So Chris, feel free to unmute yourself, and you're mute out right now. You have a great site. I just checked, if you want to talk about your website or any questions, issues, whatever, this is your chance.
Did he share his site with you? Oh, he's off mute. Go ahead.
It's
Hey, guys.
in the name.
Hey, so I'm in the UK and I'm cooking dinner as well, but I'm really pleased you put the session on.
Hey, Chris. Welcome. Thanks. What are you cooking, by the way? Just curious. I'm just messing with you.
It's very British with fry and chips. Yeah. So yeah, I guess my site and my questions is I'm trying to make kind of a B2B and a B2C platform, which I'm finding a bit tricky because I offer listings for people to put their businesses on for where we have festivals all around the world. I want, restaurants, places to stay and that kind of thing to put their listings on my site. But at the same time, I really want to offer like community posts and tell them where to go and where to stay. So I don't know if anyone's got any advice about making those two things work together, offering the business with the opportunity to reach festivals, but also inviting the community to build the site. Has anyone had that experience of a B2B and B2C listing pro site at the same time?
Tim, you got the question, Tim? You want to
No,
take
no,
it?
no, go ahead.
Okay. So just to make sure we are on the same page, you're trying to create this festival platform, and what's the end goal? What are you trying to do? Sell tickets? Are you just trying to capture leads? Are there going to be bookings? What kind of action are your users going to take?
So I want festival goers around the world I want to advise them on where they should go, where they should stay, what they should eat, like that kind of thing, what they should bring, particularly for international travel. Because I've been around the world to different countries and I didn't know where to go or where to stay or what's a good part of town or what type of food I should get or what's the best pub in town or whatever. So that's where kind of this meeting of the site, we're offering business owners the opportunity to have their listing and advertise it to festival goers. And then me almost have a city guide to say, okay, so you've got 72 hours in Barcelona. What do you do when you're not at the festival? Well, why don't you go to Dave's bar and do this? Or why don't you go to the country park? Or so it's trying to give people an opportunity to find other experiences whilst they're in these places, especially internationally, that they won't know. And that's where the business listing comes in.
So it's like Airbnb / TripAdvisor for festival goers.
Exactly. Yeah, I think TripAdvisor for festival goers is probably the best way of saying it. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And are you planning to sell tickets on your website as well?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, affiliate marketing definitely is there. The opportunity to sell transport, flights, accommodation, that kind of thing. That's a possibility. Yeah, but mainly affiliate marketing, or through the listings, where the offer people deals, in restaurants or something like that, or special festival. Yeah.
Okay, and you're gonna list places to stay as well, like something like Airbnb, where people can pick a location, and then you going to accept appointment, sorry, not appointments, bookings and stuff for those.
Yeah, I guess
staying.
I wasn't. Yeah, I think at the time I wasn't necessarily considering like private accommodation, but more like experiences. So more like, I don't know, water parks, bars, galleries, clubs, kind of other things to do. But there's no reason I couldn't have private listings for accommodation too.
Okay, like things to do basically when you're in town and you're attending a festival, things to do basically. Exactly. I guess I think I kind of get that. So what is your challenge? What's your challenge? We understand the problem you're trying to solve, but where are you running into challenge with listing?
I mean, resource is one thing, putting the time in to run the thing. And then the two of them are trying to show the value to business owners to put a listing on, because obviously this only runs, like, they might only have people in their town for a week of the year or something. So trying to encourage business owners why they might want to list them and give them value all year round. And then on the B2B side, I need people to kind of generate content for me and tell me about their local area, tell me where we should go, where you should stay, where's the best place to hang out, and whatever the experience is. So I kind of need the community to do that. And I almost thought, of a wiki style type thing, but I don't know if I can integrate, some user generated content into ListingPro, or I just offer people to write guest blogs. But yeah, it's the two challenges. It's appealing to the businesses why they should do it, and then the community why you should write to me and tell me all about your town or whatever the city.
18-й что?
Everyone hear that?
I've got some insight, if it helps. So with what Sam was asking, with ListingPro, you can do it out of the box. I'm a web developer. If you're not familiar with me, I'm Overnight Coder. I would do this in two sites that look like one, right? And I just want to give that to you because you have two different things. You can do it with ListingPro. And if like you didn't want to do two sites, so let me talk about that first. ListingPro, I would set it up into festivals. Your festivals have listings. and you can allow them to create events. And I'm hoping this is a smaller niche based on what you were talking about. And yes, you would have that community sign up, create a listing, and then create these events. There's also, the other side of it is your listing. So if you had a category that was just called events, or, I'm sorry, festivals, and the other people would be like, listings, which would be things in that region, right, or that area. So let's say your hotels, your best breakfast places, your anybody who had a different type of listing that's surrounded, depending on your domain name and what you focus around festival activities. Like, you don't want a pet store in there and again, you'd have to quote this, like, look, we're looking for businesses who focus around the festival, festival theme. And of course, that's not the right wording for your niche. But if you let people know that, then you can only, approve and disapprove what you want and take in festival type listings. And, obviously defining that in a menu is super easy, or defining that on a page. You just link them to that category. Either it's everything, which is my search page, or it's a category page, which could be festivals, or it could be your event page. So that would work. Event Pro is coming out, and I think they're already out. They're like doing the beta right now. And Event Pro could be a really good second opportunity to do a second WordPress install. Of course, I would do, I want it all to look the same. So I would do /festival. I might even put it on a multi-site so everybody has the same login. And there's some weird things that go on there, but you kind of could do something out of Event Pro, which could be all your events, selling tickets, listing events, having event calendars, and just a much better single appearance. And then you have your other site, which is, hey, if you're in that town, check us out, and have everything else. Again, you don't need the two sites, but just from a developer mind point, you have two things going on. So I pick one or the other, or again, making those categories. That's an easy way to do it with one site. But, I think that's a good idea as well.
Yeah, and I think that's where I've boxed myself in a little bit. Is I almost, because I wanted it initially to be a community site and a user generated site, I thought that's one whole avenue. And then I thought, well, I want to make some money while I'm doing it. So, and also I need the credibility and the kind of proof points that I know what I'm talking about. So I started thinking about listings and festival listings, because no one's going to come to my site to, I don't know, explore about a town if I don't have any festivals associated with the town. So I sort of developed the Listing Pro side and went down that avenue. And now I'm like, I think I've strayed too far and I need to go back to the community side. And I've very recently been thinking about, do I need the community site or a multi-site, to do that? And then I need the listings to complement that. So, maybe I've bitten off more than I can chew, but it sounds like a similar piece of advice.
Now that you've mentioned it, I wanted interactivity on my Listing Pro site, right? I want so much. I want community involvement, not just not just you adding a listing, but I wanted forums, right? I need a reason for people to come back. Forums. I wanted to do the gamify, the badge systems, and there's plugins out there for these that I've tested, and they work. But now you can sign into my site, you can leave a review, you can get badges based on 10 reviews, 20 reviews, you can become a popular member, and it gives them a reason to come back. And there are additional plugins. I don't want to, they're third party, but they definitely work with Listing Pro. And again, Listing Pro isn't going to troubleshoot your issues if you decide to use one of these. But check out the Facebook groups. There's plenty, like BB Press for forums. I used, something for integrating on the community site. Of course, it's still Listing Pro, but I'm just adding these additional features to make it the gamify. I didn't want to pay for it, but I did. It's just a really good badge system for rewarding members when I want to reward them, which keeps members coming back, man. So you can actually achieve that with anything, including Listing Pro.
Cool.
That's great advice, Tim. Thank you so much. I just want to add, Chris, that you need to, I'll give this to anybody, the same advice, that you need to focus on a niche, and whether it's going to be just, whether you want to just build a niche around first helping people find the right festivals, and able to just, maybe you're just recommending them the festivals happening, even if you're not selling tickets. or you can just focus on selling tickets, and then start like once you are able to build some sort of momentum around that, and people trust you, then you can start recommending people about things
Yeah.
happening around that area. Or you can do the other way around. You build in a market around, or users around recommending things to do. All you do is, or you can just do like blog, you can start creating blog posts, 10 things to do when you're in town or whatever, like so I'm just trying to say, focus on one or either, because when you're going to try to do both, it's going to be really hard for you to build that momentum and build, you need to really have people trust you for something before you want to give them everything else.
Yeah. Good advice. Thank you.
Yeah, actually I don't know if there's this website called allevents.in. It's a very huge website. I think they started off from in India, but I think now they're doing events all over the world. I spoke to the guy a few years ago because he was having challenge where people go to his website. It's not built on ListingPro. I still give advice to entrepreneurs and stuff. So he wanted to know what he should do with his website, because he had a lot of traffic, but he wasn't able to really monetize it. So the problem was he had all the events listed, but there was no way to book a ticket. And he was trying to do so many different things. I was like, dude, your website is all about events. Just sell the tickets. Why are you not selling the tickets? And eventually he started selling the ticket, and he focused. And I guess I think they're one of the top event sites in the world right now. So you just need to focus, find where you just want to make sure you're not trying to get into a very crowded market where it's going to be really hard. You need to just find that gap, whether you're just focusing on a particular kind of events, festivals, or you're focusing it for a particular location. Whatever is that niche is, it could be based on category or location or whatever. Just master that and then build around, start growing from there. Makes me hope.
Yeah, cool, guys.
I'm not in the niche, but I know that, in my younger, again, I'm older now, but in my younger days, there would have been a huge niche for United States rave events. Like, it's so big here that, teens and adults can go to these event festivals and just have a wonderful time, whether it was Burning Man here or whether it was, I've seen these cruise boats that go out and just party all night, and I know that might be a different niche, but I think it's a good idea. You are niche, you are talking about niche location. You just need the traffic for that. And I think that would have been big here in the United States. Everybody has their own, Facebook. And it's like, okay, I can search, but I can't really find all of our, in that niche events. And I think that could be really, really big if you treat it right.
Awesome.
And so people normally travel for those, right? I know people that were leaving out of Florida to go to Burning Man, and that's no short drive.
Exactly.
It was a great event where,
I mean, like I said, I travel into Europe and stuff because I'm chasing a band of mine that I'm like, I want to check out Hungary and I want to also see Muse. So I'm going to go to, Zaget, and I've never been there before. What else do I do while I'm there? So I chase my bands and stuff around the world, but there's loads to question, like how do you get there? And so I think the idea is sound. It's just my implementation and trying to capture that enthusiasm of other people to share that knowledge. And I think like I could have gone with a forum, and how I found out I was looking on forums, but it was just trying to make that that ideal blend of discovery and kind of knowledge transfer, I guess, about festival tourism is probably what it is really. But yeah, some good advice from you guys. Thank you. I love following the Facebook group, by the way. It really helps me, but I'm just very short of time. I've got a toddler and things like that, so I do what I can.
Whoa. I have 4 and I make time, man. So you got to find the time.
I know it's hard. It's hard. We hear you, Chris. So just want to add one point. If anybody are waiting for EventPro to come out, with EventPro, you can actually, Tim, you can use. It's not like Medical Pro where once you install Medical Pro, you need to stop. You can't really use your directory or multi-purpose directory. With EventPro, you can continue using whatever you're building pretty much. So yeah, if you have to create multi-site, that's fine, or you want to create it on separate domain, that's fine, but you will have option to have EventPro as an extension to your existing website just for events, and it will have option to create groups for, or like, you know, I don't know if you guys familiar with meetup.com. So very much like Meetup, and it's going to be a combination sort of Eventbrite and meetup.com sort of website you can create with EventPro. So there are a lot of great features. So there's actually a video, Tim, I don't know if you saw that there's this guy NYS Ben from NYSYX. He actually did his EventPro video. He got it out first. So I mean, this was a quick video. He didn't get a lot of details, but it's out there on YouTube. If you want to look into what's coming in EventPro, just Google EventPro, ListingPro, or something like that. You'll see.
Nice, he beat me. I see it now. Nice, 10 minutes.
Yeah, but it's a really quick one. He actually didn't cover a lot of all the features, so it's good.
That's all right. Perfect. Yeah, I tried. So I tried EventPro. I want to say when you guys there was a first launch, like a
Right,
few months ago, and
right.
I tried it on a test site, and I didn't know it was going to take over my whole design. So I haven't tried the new version that you just sent, just because I've been so busy. But it like
Right.
literally took over my homepage, and I was like, no. But it looked
Yeah,
really good back then. I can only imagine. I need to test it out now and get a video out, but that's coming soon.
right. A lot changed from the version you tried to now. Yeah, including the digital wallet. That was a last minute decision to add a digital wallet and ticketing system. So
Nice.
that's coming in too.
What's the price on this one?
I think I don't know if I can disclose, but it would be somewhere around, I would say, $200. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Medical Pro was worth it. You know, the price that you guys put on Medical Pro was a lot of people didn't understand that. You go from a $69 theme to a couple $100 add-on. And I was like, dude, you guys are crazy. Like you're niching for the doctor field. Like there's no reason you can't charge $49 a month. And it was different. And so I really appreciate it. Medical Pro's been
Yeah, I actually, when we were building this directory, I was talking to somebody local here in Dallas. They paid like 75 grand to build something. I mean, they had other features as well going on, but they paid roughly about 50 to 70 grand to build a ZocDoc like website. And I was telling them, like, as one of them is my friend, I was like, dude, I'll just let you use I'll give you a license. Just why are you spending so much? And they haven't launched yet. They've been building it for a year and a half now. It's just crazy. Like,
yeah, awesome. Any other questions while we're here? I know we're a little bit past time, but if anybody has anything, I'll stick around.
yeah, I guess we'll stick around another 3 minutes.
I would have a question, guys. It concerns opening hours on submit listing page. It's shown with 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. But I would need to have it from 9 to 18 hours, for example. So how can I change it? Would you advise me?
Are you saying the time is just, you want military time instead of standard time? Is that about right?
So it's not AM, PM, but just numbers from 9 till 18, for example.
Oh, Okay.
Yeah, let me share my
let's-
screen. I got the screen pulled up right now to make it easy.
Okay.
So can you see my screen?
Yeah, I see.
Hopefully
Yeah.
this is what you're talking about, but here, right in the listing general page, you actually have the ability to switch your select timing format from 12-hour to 24-hour. So 24-hour format wouldn't show AM, PM, it would show your 1800, right? Or is that what you're saying? Well, does this kind of fix up?
Yeah, I think that's what he wanted, right? And honestly, I actually forgot that we had that feature.
Yes, probably I will try it now.
Again, listing, theme options, listing general. And then you're just looking for the time difference. Super easy.
I think it would be really good to add a search feature in theme option, man. I know it's like it's really hard sometimes to find so many features. Try to dig between so many features. Yeah.
Well, I go through the, when I first got the theme, I didn't know your theme, 2 years ago, 2.5 years. So you just got to go down all the options when you're ready to and set them all up. Of course I can't remember where everything, well, now I can, but that's because I've created 70 sites, but it's hard to remember where everything's at, so even that one, I got right on my first guess, but I was ready to try again if not. Something somebody just asked, Sam, and I'll ask this to you. I know this is being recorded, so if you have any information on this, what about time zones? So I set my WordPress time zone to New York, even though I'm in Florida, I set it to my time zone. But I just had this question. If I have a site that does all of the US and the business is open from 9 to 5, the open and close now that shows up, I actually ended up removing this because it works off my time. So let's say you're in California and you're 3 hours behind me, even though the company, the hours are still correct, right? So if I have a Florida business, you still see 9 to 5. But if the business is technically open because you're in California, right? So it's not reflecting your time zone. And I started thinking about how hard that would be to code that into the open and now button. First, you need to know the user's location. Then you need to pick the time zone. Then if the time zone matches the hour for that day, and I was like, I don't know that would be an easy fix. But do you guys have a solution to that? Like, yes, the times are right, but the open and close now will always be wrong if you're in another time zone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you. Otherwise, not to this subject, as Rosemary said, I also use Jarvis and I'm pretty happy with it. It's a really cool tool. I can just make a 1,000 words text in half hour, and yeah, of course it needs some adjustment later, but it's quite cool tool. And with these frameworks they have in templates, it's like marketing frameworks. It's also very nice text. It generates. So yeah, I vote for it.
Awesome. Any other questions while we're here? Rosemary, Dimitri?
No questions. Thank you.
No, not at the moment, thanks.
You got a lot of work to do, girl. I mean, it's fun work. It's not like content work, but you got, the spacing. We talk about a lot. And again, you know where to find us. So, if you want to come to me and ask me any questions, what it looks like, how much spacing looks good versus just set some up, right? I'll just give you a quick answer. And again, if you marketing help, same thing. The Facebook group, don't just take one person's word for it. I'm one person, right? I've done a lot of directories, but you got 1,000 members in our group. You got 3,000 members in the other group. Just ask, right? Just be like, hey, what are you guys using for marketing? What's the quickest way or the easiest way or the long-term way to get my site out there? And just see what 4,000, 5,000 members have to say.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, the groups are there to help, and again, just get the help. But thank you for your time, guys. I need 60 seconds to step outside and sign a package. I know it sounds crazy, but I'll be right back unless you guys are done.
I guess we should wrap up now. So I think we can. I mean, is there any more questions? Do we have more questions here? I wasn't sure. Sorry, I guess I wasn't paying attention.
I guess the only question I would ask is there ever going to be an easier way to update Listing Pro? I find the
Oh, update? You mean update Listing Pro? You said?
you know, the updates that come out,
Okay.
I find compared to a lot of other themes, it's much trickier.
Okay. So have you tried the automated approach where you have to install the Envato Market plugin and it will notify you when there is an update?
No, I haven't actually.
Don't
Oh,
do
okay.
it. Don't do it.
No,
Sorry,
okay.
go ahead.
No. I honestly, I haven't tried it myself. So but I know people use it. So Tim, what was your experience like?
Well, I'll be honest with you. That is the new method, and it actually works perfect. So don't get me wrong. I just caught the back end of that, right? It's super easy. It's one click to update your site. The only, the only problem is you want to still go through a developer's mindset of having what you need. You have backups, so if anything goes wrong, you back up your site to a previous version. The only
Yes.
thing, because I'm known as the anti-plugin guy, I got a video out there on my channel that in 4, maybe 5 minutes, I updated my whole site. Now, keep in mind, you also need to go into your Loco Translate if you install Loco Translate, which most people have, and save PO files. And Listing Pro, the Envato Market update doesn't tell you this. All it's going to do is you'll click one button and it will update that theme. But if you've saved your Loco Translate files into that theme options, which most people do, even I used to do, you can pick other folders, which I didn't know at the time, you'll lose all those. So then, no big deal, you go back to a backup. But again, the 4 to 5 minute video on my channel, and I kept it quick for a reason, right? Most of my videos are an hour. I kept it quick so people knew how long it took for real without the extra on how to update your site. And that'll take you through like everything you should be cautious of, including those translation files. And that's the only reason I don't recommend it, right? It is a good plugin because it worked one click, saves me about 2 minutes of time instead of, uploading Listing Pro, deleting the plugin, re-uploading the plugin, doing that. But I ran into the small things that you don't think about, But again, maybe we do a video and see, what we need to cover with the Envato Marketplace plugin. Again, great for updating things, but
we have a detailed document, and it tells you how to update backup, how to auto update or manually update. So you can and before even talking about updating, we actually talk about backing up. So make sure if you are making any customization to child theme, or you have to move it to child theme, and if you have translation, everything is covered in detail in that document. I think it's pretty much, I don't think anything changed, but yeah, check that out. It's
I
in
will do,
the
thanks.
comments. Yeah, the
Yeah.
comment.
I just ran into a guy and his developer actually made all his changes in his live theme, no child theme. And I was like, he paid a lot of money for a lot of customizations, and then they went and updated it, didn't have a backup. And I was like, it was just crazy to see the loss of his site, man. So yeah, definitely make sure you're backing up. Maria, you have 11 backups just to, and they go out every 2 days. So I think you're covered. You should never have an incident. But again, some people don't know that. Some people are using, I just seen this updraft. But if you don't set up and configure properly, if you've got a plugin that updates, but it doesn't save somewhere like locally or to the cloud, what good is it if you can't log into WordPress? And I see that a lot too. Like you can't even log in to back up. What is your plugin good for if you can't do that? It's just like, oh, it's horrible. But awesome. Glad I could chime in there.
All right, Tim, I think we can call it a day today. I guess we already passed 20 minutes. So
You don't wanna
Uh,
keep going? You got stuff to do?
I mean, I can keep going, but I mean, I know I want to just give everybody their time back, and it's a Saturday, so I know. I mean, Tim, you might be going surfing or something. You live across the beach, so you know, why do you want to stay inside unless you're already outside?
I'm actually working all day, man. I got 14 sites going up and I'm just so far behind. I try to, just some extra information. I started training staff, but to train staff to do what you are capable of doing, I found even though they're good developers, it's been a rough task, like, because it's still my name. So I've been nonstop here, man. So it's been fun, but a lot of directories coming out, man. A lot of new niches and a lot of new ideas. So thank you for everything you and Natira do, and thank you guys for allowing me to host or be a part of this.
Thank you, Tim. You're awesome, man. Appreciate your time. All right, so any more?
Thank you
Any
all,
more?
guys. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Dimitri and Rosemary, for joining and staying till the end. People. So
Well,
makes
thank you.
yeah.
Very interesting. Lots of good information. Thank you.
Yeah, most time you'd pay for that, right? Website consultation, you got it for free. That's
Yes,
awesome.
that was brilliant. Yes.
I love
Yeah,
it.
and we are going to try to do this. Hopefully, Tim, if we can do this every weekend. That's what we are considering. So hopefully we'll see you again next Saturday. We'll definitely I'll talk to Tim and we'll make an announcement on our Facebook group. So just keep an eye.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Tim. Enjoy, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Okay,
Sam, I'll be
thank
in
you.
touch.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Tim, you want to stay for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
We'll do
sure.
that. So
Okay.
we can stop the record. Oh, I'm not recording. You're recording.
Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.